Surprisingly enough, the Miami Dolphins made the playoffs this year, and they still need to make plenty of moves. Now, they already started the offseason hot with the addition of Julius Thomas, without even trading away Brandon Albert, and I think that was fantastic on their part. But if they do want to trade away Brandon Albert, I would trade him away and try to get either a rather high pick, because obviously left tackles are very important, or you can try to get a defensive player out of it, and a good defensive player, of course. But there's still obviously some needs. Obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, I really like Jarvis Landry. I think he should stay there. Devontae Parker, Kenny Stills, good players right there. Very good players. And then obviously Jordan Cameron Jordan, whatever his name is. But that tight end right there has had production in the past, so I think they're going to stick with him. And when it comes to O-line, they could try to improve it, obviously. Now, if they do get rid of Brandon Albert, I would definitely consider drafting another offensive lineman. If you do load up on the offensive side of the ball, I think that could be really interesting, especially on the O-line part, because I feel like when it comes to defeating the Patriots, O-line's actually a very underrated part of their game. I mean, that's how they sometimes lose the game, because they run that hybrid front, and obviously their cornerbacks can't cover forever. So if you really can load up on that O line, plus they play in Miami where it's really hot and humid down there, and if you can really tire out the other team by running the ball, I think that could be really interesting. But also when it comes to running back, I do look at Jay Ajayi. He is a decent, pretty good running back, but I also would consider some depth there, because there are some times where he kind of reminds me of LeGarrette Blount. He has some days where he goes off, but there are also some days where he's just basically a little bit of a non-factor. I know early on this season they had this weird outside run with him where he would basically get like 2 yards a carry, but then he has that one really good goal line run where he's off to the races. But at the same time, though, I think if they can get like a nice 4 yards per carry running back, if Adrian Peterson hits the market, I mean, that could be pretty good. And obviously, Miami's not a hard place to attract free agents there. So obviously add some depth there and possibly add a receiving back. I would like to see that in that West Coast offense. If I'm if Dion Lewis is available, I think that's definitely a guy that they could possibly go after. I doubt the Jets would trade Bilal Powell, but if he's released, the Jets should go after. I mean, the Dolphins should go after them. Now, when it comes to defense, obviously Byron Maxwell did have a good season. I think if you look at our cornerbacks, if they want to try to run possibly a cover three of some kind, obviously they're going to need a safety and they're also going to need a second corner. Obviously, Logan Ryan's on the market. He could be an interesting choice, but I don't think he's the type of player. I think they're going to go into the draft and try to get a second corner. And obviously, if you try to load up on cornerbacks and whatnot, that could be really good, because look at Denver. They have Talib, Chris Harris, and they also have Roby. So that could be really good, and that's also an underrated factor to defeat the New England Patriots right there, loading up in the secondary. I mean, Brady doesn't even barely throws it against the Denver Broncos. So it's definitely a possibility right there. Now, when it comes to linebackers, I think they're okay. I mean, that's not too much of they can worry about, but obviously some starting depth won't hurt there. Now, when it comes to the overall Dolphins, they lost their defensive coordinator, and that's a big deal. So I think if they load up on the defensive side of the ball more so than the offensive side of the ball, they should try to counter the fact that they're losing a good defensive coordinator who just became the head coach of the Denver Broncos. Vance Joseph is his name. So overall, the Dolphins, if they're going to maintain this playoff mentality and be playoff or be competing for the playoffs every year, they're going to have to be aggressive this offseason.